The high society heads to a fancy dinner, but it's not what they expect. What starts as a gourmet experience will quickly turn into a mental and physical torture.
We're all gonna die tonight. Isn't that right?
Yes, chef!
Margot and Tyler wait at the dock. Tyler's pumped. He's ready for the perfect day. They're off to a dinner at an exclusive restaurant on a private island. Soon, more guests arrive. A food critic and her editor, a wealthy couple, a faded movie star with his assistant, and 3 young financial brokers. Appetizers are served. Tyler snaps a pic of the dish. It's not foie gras, but he's all over it. Margot? She's not impressed. At the island, they're greeted by Elsa, the restaurant manager. Turns out Tyler was supposed to bring someone else. The guests are led to the restaurant. On the way, Margot overhears the critics talking and notices their inflated egos. They stop by the smokehouse where Elsa warns that messing with the timing could lead to deadly food poisoning. They're shown the staff's shared bedroom. The chef's residence, Slowik's, isn't exactly evil, just separate. The tour ends in the restaurant itself, a small dining area combined with the kitchen. In the corner sits an elderly woman, and staff members work meticulously on dishes using tweezers and liquid nitrogen. Elsa asks them not to photograph the food. The chef has a thing about eating it, not admiring it. It's time for the appetizer, and the chef appears in the kitchen. As soon as the waiters bring out the dishes, the guests start tasting the little grains and discussing their own matters. Tyler eagerly tells Margot about the secrets of fine dining. When it's time for the first dish, the chef claps loudly to get the guests' attention. He gives a dramatic speech about the gastronomic decadence that awaits them. Tyler gets emotional, tears welling up in his eyes. He's a longtime fan of the chef and dreams of impressing him. Margot notices, though, that gaining sympathy isn't necessary. He's the paying customer. Despite his overwhelming admiration, Tyler breaks the rules and takes a photo of the dish. Another loud clap rings out. The chef is ready to present the second course. He explains that bread has long been considered food for the poor, and such esteemed guests gathered today can't stoop to eating peasant food. Instead, they're served a set of sauces for bread, without the bread itself. There's just a paper with a recipe. Opinions among the guests are split. Some find the concept outrageous. Others think it's unique. The critic complains about one of the sauces being too inconsistent. But when in doubt, it's always good to eat. So at the chef's request, they bring her a larger plate. The brokers ask Elsa to bring bread, but she flatly refuses. Margot, realizing there's no point in expecting a crouton or stale bread, refuses to eat the condiments. Tyler tries to take her portion, but accidentally knocks over a glass. The incident catches the chef's attention. He asks why Margot isn't eating, ignoring her companion. Margot says there's no food on her plate. The chef can't convince her to try the dish. Another loud clap signals the arrival of the third course, the memory. Slowik introduces the elderly woman in the corner, his mother, and shares a childhood story about his drunk father. The guests are served various tacos, tortillas, and a chicken leg. Before the guests wrap up their shawarma, the chef explains the unique recipe. For their benefit, he's added laser engraving to the flatbreads. The restaurant critic has images of places that shut down after her brutal reviews. The movie star has a frame from a failed film. The wealthy couple gets scenes from their real family life. Except in the last one, the husband is with another woman. The brokers see secret account data, where they have stashed stolen money. They're worried they'll get caught now that the evidence is out there, but they comfort themselves, thinking it's not in anyone's interest to turn them in. The chef could end up as an accomplice. Tyler is pictured taking photos of the food, which frustrates him. Margot wants to start a scene about the unauthorized photos, but Tyler says that's not how things are done here. They argue, but since Tyler is paying for the meal, Margot reluctantly agrees. She steps out to the bathroom to sneak a smoke through the window. The chef catches her there. He asks what exactly she didn't like about the last dish, and wonders who she really is. She's not on the guest list. He doesn't believe her name is Margot. The girl bluntly tells him to stop interrogating her, then returns to the dining room where the preparation for the fourth dish is underway. The chef claps his hands, signaling one of the cooks to serve the next dish, called Chaos. Slowik explains that the cook is a good chef, but lacks talent. The cook admits he'll never make it in haute cuisine, then shoots himself in the head with a revolver in front of the stunned audience. While the staff carefully removes the body, all the guests except Tyler are nervously watching, trying to figure out what's happening. They suspect the suicide might be staged. The chef politely tells everyone to calm down and return to their seats as the waiters drag the bloody corpse outside. Soon the next dish is served. The chef shouts to eat, and the terrified guests obediently pick up their knives and forks. The rich couple tries to leave, but Elsa and the bouncers block the exit. The man threatens with divine retribution, but the staff calmly grabs his hands and cuts off his ring finger, dropping the wedding ring. Margot stares at Tyler in shock. He, however, continues eating without a care in the world. Elsa picks up the bloody ring tongue and hands it to the wife of the man who is crying in pain. The restaurant critic thinks this whole show is staged just for her for publicity. Margot is invited to the kitchen for a talk with the chef. He asks her real name to adjust the menu accordingly. He also admits that they're all going to die tonight, but gives her the choice of who she'll align with, the guests or the staff. When she returns to the table, stunned, Tyler is only concerned about one thing: what's being prepared. The broker tries to break the window, but it's bulletproof. Elsa calmly takes the chair and guides the man back to the table. The chef claps his hands and offers tea, which Tyler detects has a hint of bergamot. The others ask what's going on. Slowick tells them that every guest here has plenty of sins weighing on their souls. The critic who brings another bowl of sauce has destroyed the dreams of many chefs with her harsh reviews. The rich couple has dined at the restaurant 11 times, but can't name a single dish that was served with any significance. This approach offends the artist. His masterpieces are literally turned to garbage, and people don't appreciate his work wallowing in their own elitism. To show just how serious things are, the chef gives a signal, and the show begins. The main restaurant investor, a financial angel, hangs outside with his hands tied and fake wings. The rope slowly lowers him into the ocean until he disappears beneath the waves. Afterward, Margot is taken to the chef's office. She admits she doesn't belong there. The chef agrees, saying her place is with the workers, the common folk, the servants. The chef realizes she's an escort. One of her clients was the rich man who had his finger cut off. Slowick admits that he's tired of trying to please the rich, spoiled clients. He misses the simple emotions free from hypocrisy and arrogance. To present the next dish, the guests are taken outside. It's announced by the cook, Catherine. She shares how the chef tried to seduce her, and after she refused, he tortured her with psychological torment. She stabs him in the leg with scissors, just like he once did to his drunken father, and Slowick begs for her forgiveness. The guests are told that the men have a chance to escape. They're given a head start before the guards chase after them. As the men scatter, Catherine leads the women back to the hall, where the 6th course is served. After tasting, the critic praises the food, bringing the chef to tears. Her praise once meant so much to her. The rich woman asks Margot if she knows her husband, and Margot sees no reason to deny it. Catherine admits that they're all going to die tonight. This is the grand finale of the conceptual menu by culinary geniuses. The critic offers Catherine help with opening her own restaurant, but when she finds out that she's the one who came up with the idea to kill everyone, she opens a bottle of wine and pours it into her own glass to get drunk. The men are caught one by one, even those who manage to reach the boat on the shore, the last one hiding in the chicken coop. The editor is handed a special treat as a reward. After that, everyone is taken back to the restaurant, interrupting the women's gathering. Only Tyler is more confused about the situation than the food. When the next dish arrives, the chef turns to Tyler. It turns out that he's been exchanging letters with his idol for a long time and was already aware of the dinner and its plans for a deadly ending. He even ignored the danger of death for the sake of culinary excellence. The problem is, though, that the restaurant only serves couples. So, instead of the girl he fought with, Tyler hired Margot, knowing full well that she too would be killed. From such cynicism, the escort attacks the client, punching him until a guard pulls her away. The chef praises Tyler's refined taste and invites him to the kitchen, personally signing his special chef's coat. Then the chef orders him to cook something. As Tyler, nervous under the watchful eyes of his idol and the other chefs, chops onions and fries meat, the chef gives dry commentary, not slipping into Gordon Ramsay-style expressions. Barely managing to fry the meat and onions together, the chef tastes Tyler's dish and lowers him from a gourmet to a beginner. It's that bad. He comments that knowing how to eat well doesn't automatically mean knowing how to cook well, then whispers something in Tyler's ear. Upset, Tyler removes the coat and walks out of the kitchen. Apologizing to the guests for the unexpected, the chef takes Margot aside and asks her to bring a barrel from the smokehouse, which is necessary for dessert. Elsa was supposed to do it, but she forgot. As Margot walks away, she notices through the slightly open door Tyler hanging in a noose. He has carried out the chef's final order. As she leaves, the movie star asks why he's there. Slowick explains that one Sunday, his only day off, he went to see the actor's film and was deeply disappointed. For forgetting his true calling and starring in trash, the actor's life will end today. Finding the barrel and knife in the smokehouse, Margot sneaks into the chef's nearby house. But instead of a living space, there's another restaurant. She tries to open a secret door, only to be caught by Elsa. The maitre d' is upset, feeling betrayed that the chef called Margot one of them, a simple worker in the service industry, and painted her in a bad light. The chef never mentioned the barrel to Elsa. A fight breaks out between them, with Margot ultimately overpowering Elsa. She plunges the knife into Elsa's throat, causing her to die slowly. Taking the key from her, Margot unlocks the door, revealing a living room. The walls are adorned with photographs chronicling Slowick's rise to culinary success, from a simple fast food worker to a renowned culinary genius. On the shelf, Margot spots a radio. Back in the restaurant, the staff congratulates one of the brokers on his birthday when Margot in a blood-soaked dress rolls in the barrel. The chef shows off his acquired skill of fire tolerance when a Coast Guard boat appears outside. Slowick orders the staff to clean up the dining room so nothing reveals what's truly happening. He warns the guests that if anyone tries to tell the officer anything, it will result in another death. When the officer asks who sent the distress signal, everyone stays silent. Recognizing the movie star, the officer admits he's a big fan of his work. The chef offers to get an autograph, but the actor writes, "Help us," on the page. After reading the note, the officer pulls out a gun and orders everyone to raise their hands. The visitors, emboldened, confess that they are about to be killed. But it turns out to be all part of a staged scene. The gun is just a prop lighter, and the officer is actually a disguised chef. The chef scolds Margot for trying to escape her fate and forces her to accept the inevitable. As the chefs prepare the last dish, the queen on a chessboard devises a gambit. She stands up and claps her hands, mimicking the chef to get his attention. Margot says she didn't like the food and wants to return it. She criticizes all of the chef's dishes and the pretentious manner in which they were served, leaving her still hungry. The man whose food has been praised for years now asks what she wants to try. Margot chooses a simple cheeseburger, the kind Slowick used to make when he first started his career. The chef personally prepares the burger for her, smiling at the long-forgotten feeling of satisfaction from creating something simple. However, when he personally serves it to her, Margot takes only one bite and then asks to have the burger wrapped to go. A smile forms on the chef's face as he asks her to wait a minute. He wraps the burger and thanks her for visiting. Margot leaves a tip, grabs the bag, and leaves, casting one last glance at the doomed rich guests. Back in the restaurant, the staff prepares the final dish, dressing guests in marshmallow costumes that children love to roast over an open fire. For the chef, this symbolizes the quintessence of bad taste in cuisine associated with childhood innocence. He arranges a final bonfire, carrying a glowing coal to the center of the room, where he ignites a flammable mixture. The chefs turn on the gas burners and wait for the fire to engulf the entire restaurant. Margot, now aboard the boat, watches from a distance as the restaurant burns. She eats the cheeseburger, wiping her mouth with a printed copy of the menu, which lists the guests as ingredients for the final dish.